I don't honestly know who my real self is. I've done a lot of soul searching so far with the beginning of the new year and this new decade. The soul searching has helped a lot, but I still don't know who I really am. If I were to say who my real self is that kid who feels like he doesn't really fit in with the general group of people, but rather lives day to day, questioning himself constantly over things that really aren't as important as I make them. My ideal self is someone who is happy and content with themselves 24/7. The self I strive to be doesn't have flashes of anxiety that keeps me up at night or makes me feel like no one wants to be around me. I strive to be the person that doesn't resort to secluding myself from those most important to me when my depression attacks at the most random times. I strive to be the leader or even just the person who someone can come to for help or just someone to talk to. The private self I don't disclose with others doesn't like being around large groups. I would much rather have a small, solid group of friends who I could go to war with rather than a large group of mere followers. I would rather stay in my room and listen to music or watch YouTube videos rather than going out to party. In private, I focus more on finding ways to relax within myself and finding the small things that make me happiest. The self I disclose in public is easygoing. I'm open to making new friends, and I enjoy the public interaction where I can be face to face with people. I just much rather prefer being around smaller groups of people while I'm in public, though. The person I do show is someone who likes to put together outfits and defend the self proclaimed title I gave myself of best dressed on the basketball team. That's just one of the ways I like to joke around with my close teammates and have fun, along with trying to have a smile on my face when I'm around friends or under the public eye. I try to present the best image of myself. My physical self is a 6'2", brown-haired, hazel-eyed, type 1 diabetic. Outside of sports, people consider me on the taller side, but for basketball, I consider myself undersized. Athletically, I have a 36-inch vertical, allowing me to have a great leaping ability to dunk a basketball with ease. Constantly, my body is hurting, partially from the years and years of basketball I have played competitively, but a major contributor is my diabetes attacking my nervous system, making the healing process a whole lot slower. My self-concept has mostly changed for the negative over the years, but recently I've been trying to improve it mentally and physically. In high school, I started to care too much about what people thought of me, causing for my self-concept to become a negative perspective. It was negative because most people had their opinions and I listened to it too much. In recent times, since I graduated and moved away from my high school, I have learned to have a positive perspective on myself and has started to provide a healthy change mentally and physically. I like to say that I am artistic. In my free time, and one of the ways I find to calm and relax myself, I paint clothing and on shoes. I have always liked shoes and creating different color blockings of shoes on websites that show a digital render of what the shoe would look like in certain colors. But after I've started doing that on my own shoes, I branched out to more portrait type of designs on shoes, like painting flowers or cartoon characters on shoes for friends. It is something I would say I excel at and will continue to do. That way I can break away from society for a moment at a time. I always find it hard to refer myself to a certain type of group. I never have really felt like I fit into a specific group. I always have felt like I'm pretty different from the most people around my age group and overall in my generation. That most of the time, if I refer myself to a group, I feel below average in that group. Say athletes, for example. I could refer myself as part of that type of group, but overall, I don't feel like I'm as good an athlete as the majority. Or some may refer me as an artist, but again, I feel like I'm in the lower tier of that reference group. If there was a group, as cliche as it sounds, I would say that the group most relevant to me is a group of outsiders.